Hi students, this is Dr.Keshari Shukla, and today in this video I am going to discuss one of the greatest tragedy of William Shakespeare, Hamlet. Students, I have just made some other videos on William Shakespeare and also on Shakespeare's great play Hamlet. Students, William Shakespeare is known for his other great tragedies like King Lear, Macbeth, Othello, Julius Caesar, like great plays he has written. But among all them, Hamlet has its special ranking, especially in audience and drama liking people. Students, whenever we go through, especially in academic area, so during the study of Hamlet, we often encounter so many questions, especially about this play Hamlet. And as a students, this is required to solve those questions like Hamlet as a Shakespearean tragedy, Hamlet as a revenge tragedy, Hamlet's madness was real madness, or he was just assuming madness, he was finding madness. And another very important question is also there, Hamlet as an artistic failure. The students, and one another very important question is Hamlet's delay, means he made a delay in taking the revenge. So many questions are there. So I will make videos on several questions, but today in this video I am going to discuss Shakespeare's tragedy Hamlet, or we can say Hamlet as a Shakespearean tragedy. The students, as I have earlier made a video on common characteristics, major characteristics, important features of a Shakespearean tragedy. So what features I have described there. So this play is just fulfilling the requirement of all the important characteristics of William Shakespeare's tragedy. As I have made you clear, that in Shakespearean tragedies you will find a tragic hero, means in Shakespearean tragedy, hero is always tragic and he is the central figure of the play. Most of the remaining characters and the story, entire story of the play moves around that central character, and that central character is always the hero of the tragedy, and he is always a tragic figure. It means he comes to an end, an unfortunate death. He just gets in the end, that is, and throughout the story he struggles because of some weaknesses. The students, as the first quality is tragic hero, so in this regard we can just come on Hamlet. The Hamlet is also a tragic figure, tragic hero. Students, throughout the story he struggles, having all those qualities what he has. He's handsome, smart, heroic, courage he has, and he's a man of intellect. Having all those qualities, he struggles. And he struggles in position to be not the man of an action. He thoughts very much. He thinks very much. This was the reason. And at least he dies. So in this way, we can say that the first need of Shakespearean tragedy, that a tragic hero, this drama is fulfilling. Hamlet is also a tragic figure. Another quality was there, that in Shakespearean tragedy, you find always a great hero. Means in Shakespearean tragedy, you will not find that hero is of general standard. You will not find any kind of a common pupil as a hero in Shakespearean tragedies. Either he is a king or a general of army or the prince of any country. The very shame, Hamlet is the prince of Denmark. He is not a man of a common standard, he is not the man of low standard, but he belongs to the higher class of society. As in King Lear, you find King Lear, who was a king, and also in Othello, Othello was also a hero of higher standard, and also in Macbeth, Macbeth was also a man of higher standard. He was not a common man, he was the supreme authority in the army of King Duncan. The very same Hamlet is the prince of Denmark, means he's the prince of a country, a man of higher standard. So this characteristic is also fulfilled by this play Hamlet. So in this way, you can say that this is an excellent and ideal Shakespearean tragedy. Another quality what Shakespearean tragedy has, tragic flaw. So in Hamlet, you find the tragic flaw. Tragic flaw is students that you call hamartia. Hamartia is one of the greatest quality of Shakespearean tragedy, as you have studied in the criticism of Aristotle. Means hero has all the qualities, all the features of a hero. He has heroic qualities, courage, all these things he has. But because of single mistake, because of one weakness, he suffers and at least comes to an end. So this is hamartia, and the final death of a hero, that is in the terms of tragic flaw. And this quality you always find in several tragedies of William Shakespeare, whether this is Julius Caesar, whether this is Antonio and Cleopatra, whether this is Macbeth or King Lear or Othello. The very same way you find in Hamlet, same thing, tragic flaw, form of hamartia. Hamlet has all the heroic qualities, but he, being the man of inaction, being the man of some dilemmatic mind, you can say, a kind of dilemma was always in his mind, to be or not to be. That is the question. It create a kind of disaster in his life. So, on this ground, we can say that in Shakespearean tragedies, like others, Hamlet has also the tragic flaw and hamartia as well. So, on this ground, also we can say that it is an excellent Shakespearean tragedy. And in other qualities, supernatural elements is also one of the greatest quality of Shakespearean tragedies. In all the tragedies, you will find, as you have studied Macbeth, so the ghost is also there, and the description of witches, three witches you have seen. In several tragedies, you will find a kind of supernatural description, and very same thing you have just find here in Hamlet. The ghost of senior Hamlet you have find, students. So on that ground, you can say that Hamlet is a typical Shakespearean tragedy, and he's just fulfilling all the important requirements of a Shakespearean tragedy. And in another way, you can say other in another qualities, catharsis is also very important. So catharsis means purgation and purification of the emotion. A kind of feeling of pity and fear is created in the heart of the audience and the spectator during the play. When the play is in the theater and you are just enjoying that, to a kind of just you can say kind of pity. You must have mercy for the hero, especially what kind of act is being just done in his life, in what kind of calamities and problems he's passing through. So that create a kind of sympathy for him. So this is one of the greatest quality that you call catharsis, and this has been just employed by Aristotle in his classical concept of tragedies. So that you will find in all Shakespearean tragedies, and very same way you will find in Hamlet also, when he struggles, and when his father is just killed by his uncle, and his mother just married his uncle, then a kind of sympathy just come in your mind, a kind of a sad feeling come in your mind. And in the end, when during the duel, what was going on in between Lear and Hamlet, so the kind of conspiracy what was against Hamlet, a kind of sad feel comes in your mind, a kind of pity and fear is just created in your mind, when he was just sent to study again with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. So what kind of conspiracy was behind him? It also create a kind of pity and fear in your mind in the form of catharsis, what William Shakespeare has employed in all his tragedies. So on that ground, you can say that in Hamlet, the catharsis is also there. And students, in another qualities, if you find, so all the qualities what Shakespearean tragedy has. So on several ground, your Hamlet, the play, is accurate totally. You know that in Shakespearean tragedies, hero always gets a final end, means in the end of the play he always dies. The very same way Hamlet also dies in this play in the end. And a lot of bloodshed is there in all the tragedies of William Shakespeare, murder, killing, all these things you find a kind of melodramatic element sometimes you encounter in Shakespearean tragedies, means horror and terror because of murder, killing, bloodshed. So you will find all these qualities in also Hamlet. On that ground, you can say that it's typical Shakespearean tragedy. Means what is the standard of William Shakespeare, especially for his tragedies. The in Hamlet, you will find all those things always. Uh, Poetic justice is very important quality of Shakespearean tragedies. Means poetic justice is not there in Shakespearean tragedies, especially poetic justice means industry is rewarded and giddiness is punished, as you have already studied, means victory of good over evil. So all these kinds of things, especially in Shakespearean tragedies, poetic justice, what about I have just started describing, hero must be rewarded in the end and villain must be punished in the end. But unfortunately, villain dies, but with him hero also dies. The students, this is not a poetic justice. Hero must just survive there to give the message just that just giddiness has been punished. Just you can say in the terms that evil was punished and bad was punished and good is rewarded. But unfortunately good is also just comes to an end in the end of the play. You will find not a poetic justice in William Shakespeare's plays, and very same kind of thing is here in Hamlet, that in the end Hamlet also dies. So on that ground you can say that Hamlet is also an ideal tragedy ever written by William Shakespeare. Students, tragic waste is also one of the greatest quality of Shakespearean tragedies, students. And this thing you will always find in Hamlet, that when hero and villain both dies in the end, it is called tragic waste. So with the King Claudius, hero Hamlet also dies. So this is tragic waste. So all those qualities what are generally considered in Shakespearean tragedies. So all those qualities on several grounds you can say that Hamlet is fulfilling. Hero is a great man, higher standard, then description of supernatural elements, tragic flaw, tragic waste, and tragic end, and all those qualities what Shakespearean tragedies has. So on several grounds, your Hamlet is accurate. On that ground, we can say that Hamlet is an ideal Shakespearean tragedy. Students, this is the first question what I have discussed before you, very important question. And now we are just moving towards Hamlet as a revenge tragedy. Students, Hamlet as a revenge tragedy, actually this was the tradition of Elizabethan period, that in those days it was an excellent liking, especially in audience, for revenge tragedies. And you know that Shakespeare was always professional, especially in his playwritings. That's why he has written excellent revenge tragedies like Hamlet. The Hamlet is a revenge tragedy. Students, actually, first of all, we have to understand what is revenge, because about tragedy means a hero dies in the end and suffers during the life. That is a tragedy, especially in a Shakespearean form of drama. But how he has employed revenge there in his trustees. So first of all, we have to understand what is revenge. Students, the revenge means when someone takes law in his hand to just fulfill, to just satisfy his hurt. So that is revenge. And Shakespeare has employed in his tragedies like Hamlet this thing. Revenge means hero is just trying to take law in his hand, means he is trying to not good way to kill his opponent to satisfy his hurt. As in Hamlet, you will find that he has single target to kill King Claudius because he has killed his father as the ghost has predicted. So this is revenge, the revenge kind of thought in the heart of Hamlet. Although in those days, especially in Elizabethan period, revenge is a kind of wild justice was there, as you have studied in Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon, in of revenge essay, he has written that revenge is a kind of wild justice. But the common people who were there in Elizabethan period, they have a special kind of liking for revenge, like thought in tragedies means they used to like it. That's why William Shakespeare has written Hamlet. Students, actually, in those days, especially in Elizabethan period, among university wits, Thomas Kidd was there, one of the greatest playwright before Shakespeare, mean pre-Shakespeareans, or you can say in pre-Shakespearean dramatists, or in university wits. He was a scholar of university, and he has written Spanish tragedy. This is an excellent revenge tragedy. The William Shakespeare was much inspired by this to write revenge tragedy, as I have already made clear how Shakespeare was inspired, and he had just learned a lot from his pre-experience, as he has studied the delicacy of language by John Lilly, and how he had just studied the concept of picaresque concept, the employment of picaresque concept from Thomas Nash, and how he has just studied from William Lodge the political satires. The very same way he had studied the concept of revenge plays, and he was very much inspired by Thomas Kidd, especially for his Hamlet from his from I mean to say from his Spanish tragedy ever written by Thomas Kidd. Students, and also you know that there was a tradition of revenge tragedies in Seneca, especially in Senecan tragedies. If you encounter Senecan tragedies, Seneca, who was a Roman playwright, and he had just employed Greek myths and the stories of Greek legends in his plays. And what an excellent revenge tragedies he had written. Lot of bloodshed, bombastic language, and just he has created the revenge as the moral duty of heroes. Means what, as you know that Bacon has written, revenge is a kind of wild justice, means he has not justified revenge, but so excellently Seneca has used in his tragedies revenge, as that creates a kind of feeling that this is the moral responsibility of a hero, and that has been well adapted by William Shakespeare in his Hamlet. So first of all, here I want to just discuss, students, कि what are the basic requirements, basic characteristics of a revenge tragedy. The first of all, the first quality of a revenge tragedy is a revenge theme. Means in revenge tragedies, theme must be revenge, because when revenge will be the theme, so it will create a special kind of interest in audience. Special kind of interest means the audience starts just identifying himself with the hero, that hero is going on right way, and this is the moral duty of a hero, because he's already just in the impression of you can say uh, conspiracy. He's fallen conspiracy and something has gone wrong with the hero. That's why he must take the revenge. So audience starts identifying. That's why the revenge theme always touch the heart of audience, and this is the basic requirement. And you will find that this revenge in the beginning of the play Hamlet, you will find that in act first scene second, when ghost just enters, so he just provoked, he just inspired Hamlet. The father Hamlet, the ghost father Hamlet, just inspired Hamlet, the son Hamlet, to take the revenge. And from there, audience come to know that the basic theme of this play is revenge, and it creates a kind of interest in the mind of audience. So the first requirement, what Hamlet is fulfilling, this is the concept of a revenge theme. And students, not only this, but William Shakespeare has followed all the concept ever employed by Seneca, the bombastic language, the special presentation, the sympathetic kind of feel is being created in the heart of audience for the hero. He is going to take right decision to take the revenge. So William Shakespeare, this is the another quality of a revenge play, the employment of Senecan concept of a revenge tragedy that has been also adopted by William Shakespeare in Hamlet. On that ground, we can say that it is an ideal revenge tragedy. Students, another quality of a Shakespearean tragedy, especially revenge tragedies, that crime, murder, bloodshed. In revenge tragedies, you will find always crime. From the beginning till end, you will find the crime. Bloodshed, you will find, means murders, brutal murders, you will find. And you know that the starting of the Hamlet was there with the death of senior Hamlet, what was just done by his own brother, Claudius. So murder, killing, Polonius was killed, and in the end, you know that the Lairds and Hamlet, Queen Gertrude also died. So all these things, even the murder of his friends when he was just returning again for the study. So all these things you will find in revenge tragedies, and very same thing William Shakespeare has employed in Hamlet. A lot of bloodshed, and you know I want to just add here that that in revenge tragedies melodramatic element is created. A kind of horrible and terrible atmosphere is created, and very same thing you will find in Hamlet. So on that ground, you can say that this is an excellent revenge tragedy. When William Shakespeare has employed this concept, so this concept has been in the terms that son is taking the revenge of his father. As you know, that Hamlet's father was killed, and now this was the moral responsibility. Actually, the setting, what William Shakespeare just puts, and how he was just inspired by Seneca. So the kind of setting and kind of presentation of the tragedy, presentation of the play, they make so excellently that audience starts feeling that this revenge what the hero is going to take, this is not crime, but this is the pious thing. This is the holiest thing what a hero should do. So in this ground, you can say that Shakespeare is the master of creating this. And as you know, when you start studying Hamlet, a kind of feel comes in your mind that Hamlet must take the revenge. So these are the important things what make Hamlet as a great Shakespearean revenge tragedy. Another very important quality, that revenge is the duty in all revenge tragedies. Revenge becomes the duty of the hero. As in Spanish tragedies you have studied, Hieronimo. It was the moral responsibility of Hieronimo that he must take the revenge for his son Antonio, because his son Antonio was killed by villain, and villain must be killed by Hieronimo. This is the moral responsibility, this is the duty. And in very same way in Hamlet, Shakespeare has well employed this concept that this is the duty of Hamlet, the duty of son Hamlet, that he must kill King Claudius. Only then the soul of Claudius will be satisfied. So on that ground, this play is also very accurate. On that ground, we can say that Hamlet is an excellent revenge tragedy. Students, as I have made clear, lot of bloodshed, always murder, killing, physical harm, melodramatic element, and all those things, murder, killing, and melodramatic elements, you will find in Hamlet also, as this is the basic requirement of Shakespearean tragedy. Students, and also ghosts or supernatural elements are always there in the revenge tragedies. As you have studied Senecan tragedy, and also in Spanish tragedy, you have found that in Spanish tragedy, take the example. So the ghost of son of Hieronymo comes before Hieronymo and informs that I have been killed by that one, and Larenjo was there, Balsaz was there. They were the villainous figures. So Hieronymo was informed by the ghost son, and it was said that this is the moral responsibility of you father to take the revenge. Very same way here, the ghost of senior Hamlet, father Hamlet, comes before the son Hamlet and asks that you must take the revenge and you must kill King Claudius because he has just killed me. So this is also there in the form of one of the most important quality of revenge tragedies. So on that ground, Hamlet is very nice and accurate revenge tragedy. Students, also fightings and other mental disturbances you will find in revenge tragedies, mental exertion, mental disturbances, and a kind of disruptive things in the mind of hero, and it disturbing some psychological disturbances you find in the mind of hero. And very shame way here, students, Hamlet is also very much disturbed. This is the question of controversy, that Hamlet was feigning madness as he was really mad. But one thing is clear, that he was very much disturbed because of his father's death and his mother's again marriage with his uncle. So this is also one of the greatest quality of revenge tragedy, and you will find in Hamlet. And students, one another very important quality of revenge tragedy is that the language of revenge tragedy, that always is bombastic, always high sentences, high sound sentences are just presented in revenge tragedies. And this is also their very excellent kind of sentences, very bombastic kind of, very heroic kind of, very powerful strengthened sentences. The sentences of high heroic deeds has been presented there in this play. And on that ground, you can say that Hamlet is nice revenge tragedy. Students, uh, so many critics has different opinion about this revenge tragedy. So here I want to add the opinion of T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot has actually given the opinion that actually there was no revenge actually in Hamlet, but it was the planning of William Shakespeare. He has created a kind of planning for Hamlet's students, especially about his madness. He has told this. When this question comes, what I have just made you clear, that a kind of disturbance is always in the mind of Shakespearean tragedies hero, especially in revenge tragedies. So about that, T.S. Eliot has made it clear that actually Hamlet was not a mad, but it was the planning of William Shakespeare. So I think this video is going to be very long, and in this video I have just made clear two questions: Hamlet as a typical Shakespearean tragedy, and Shakespeare as a revenge tragedy. I think students, you all are satisfied with that. And in coming videos, I will just discuss other questions like Hamlet's madness and the problem of delays, and also other questions. What that is required for this for this tragedy. I think for that time, I would like to thank you. Thank you, dear students. Thank you very much.